Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urios Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we're talking about the spell Ice Storm. We're giving this one a solid B. It's not a bad spell. It's not a great spell, but it can have its uses, and it can be used in certain situations. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. All right, Ice Storm is a 4th level spell that is usable by a whole bunch of different classes. So Druid, Sorcerers, Wizards. Those are base classes. Now, I don't know why this spell in particular can be used by Sorcerers and Wizards. At some point, I'm going to have to sit down and look and see if Sorcerers and Wizards can use every evocation spell, or they have the same list of evocation spells. But again, there's some spells that are usable by a sorcerer that are not usable by a wizard, and some that are usable by a wizard that are not usable by a sorcerer. So there is that. Tempest Domain clerics get this, but I think they just put this in here because it's got the word storm in it. It doesn't do lightning damage. It doesn't do thunder damage. So, there is that. Circle of the Land Arctic Druids. This one actually makes sense for that druid, so that it's a kind of a freebie choice preparation spell for them. Oath of the Ancients Paladins. Not really sure why that is. And Artillerist Artificers. Sure. Okay. I guess they needed some 4th level spells for the Artillerist, and they picked this one. So it takes 1 action, has a range of 300 feet, which is an awesome range. 20-foot radius, verbal, somatic, and material component, which is worthless, so we don't have to worry about that. It's an evocation spell, dex save, so a hail of rock-hard ice pounds the ground in a 20-foot radius in a 40-foot high cylinder. So I'm going to be making some comparisons with Fireball with this spell. So Ice Storm is the same radius as Fireball, but it's higher, so it's a cylinder. And the advantage of that, it doesn't do as much damage as Fireball. Almost as much damage. But the advantage of the 40-foot high cylinder is that it'll get flying creatures that are above the detonation of a Fireball. So you're able to get things included in the spell in kind of more of a 3-dimensional structure. Each creature in the cylinder must make a dex save. A creature takes 2d8 bludgeoning damage and 4d6 cold damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. So if you got creatures that are vulnerable to cold, here's a good one to use. And then there's an added effect. So Fireball goes off and it just does damage. Not as big of an area as this one. Does a little bit more damage. On average, it does 4 points more. On average, Fireball does 27 points. On average, this one does 23 points if you fail to save. So hailstones turn the storm's area of effect into difficult terrain until the end of your next turn. And then you can upcast this, and when you do, it does a d8 extra damage above 4th level. So would I prepare this? I would have to talk to everybody else in my adventuring party to see what other spells they have. And then, depending on that, I would either make the choice or not. So, if there is a druid in the party and they have plant growth, well, there's a lot of classes that can use plant growth. There's somebody that can use plant growth, then I might think about taking this spell. This is a good one because it causes difficult terrain. Remember, plant growth doesn't cause difficult terrain. It causes creatures moving through the area to spend 4 feet of movement for every foot of movement, and then difficult terrain adds another 1 to that. So moving 5 feet costs 25 feet if you put those two spells together. I mean, other area of effect spells that other party members cast, this could complement that as well. Evard's Black Tentacles, Cloud Kill, Fog Cloud, Stinking Cloud, Nather's Mischief, all those spells, you put an area down, Spike Growth, another one, you put the area down, and then you lock things in a little bit better. Spike Growth does do difficult terrain as well, but, there's 2 different effects that'll be going on in there. The difficult terrains don't stack, but the Spike Growth does do damage. as they move through it. So, but this is only difficult terrain for basically a round, essentially, one round. Now, it's usable by a whole bunch of different classes, so let's take a look at those. Wizards, I would say probably the best one for this one is the School of Evocation Wizard because of the Sculpt spell. So it's a 4th level spell, so you can choose 5 creatures that automatically make their saving throw and take no damage if they would take half damage. So this does half damage on a failed saving throw. So you take 5 of your buddies, and they don't get hit. For Sorcerer, maybe Storm Sorcery. I don't think it really matters for Sorcerer because Storm Sorcerer does damage and has things that have to do with thunder and lightning. And even though this spell has the word storm in it, it's not thunder and lightning. The Tempest Domain Cleric gets this. Again, none of these really do anything with it because it's not thunder and lightning. So all in all, this is not a bad spell. I would talk with your party members to see what you could work with this and synergize with this. And then, move forward with it. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.